Hey guys, this is Josh here with Trillium Wild Edibles, and today I'm going to bring you a quick identification video on Winged Sumac. This white and yellow cluster that we can see right here in front of us is Winged Sumac. This plant is in no way, shape, or form the same thing as poison sumac, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. There is another very popular sumac species known as staghorn sumac, winged sumac, staghorn sumac, and there's another one known as smooth sumac. All three of those are edible, and they do actually look a lot alike. Now this cluster that we're seeing in front of us right here is actually the flowers of the winged sumac. So let's take a close look at this. As we can see, this is a very, very dense flower cluster, and we can see, if we look closely, we can see these little yellow bits of flowers, and you're going to see all kinds of little bitty bees and wasps and things all over this because it's pollinating right now. But right here you guys can see those little yellow flowers coming up, and this is the flowers of the winged sumac. I would get closer, however, there's a big drop off right in front of me, so I'm not able to actually get too up close to this portion of it right now because, well, it's about 3 foot of a drop and I wouldn't be able to reach it. Now oftentimes whenever people are out walking in the woods this time of year and they see the very indicative sumac leaves that we can see hanging off here in this white cluster, they assume that this is poison sumac, and that is not true. This is a very delicious and highly rated edible species. After these flowers come on and they get pollinated, it will start to produce a fruit, and these fruits are little red berries, little tiny red berries, probably around 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch in size. They are covered in a lot of very small hairs, and it does make a very delicious pink lemonade sort of flavored drink. However, because of those hairs, you do have to strain those hairs out with a coffee filter or a very fine cheesecloth multiple times to get those hairs out because they are irritating. But let's take a look at the leaves here, shall we? Right here we can see the leaves of this winged sumac, and if you look closely, we're going to notice that there are actually 11 of these leaves or leaflets all together along this stem. And each one is going to have anywhere from 10 to 11 of these leaves on opposite sides, so it has opposite leaf pattern. These leaves are going to be smooth along the margins, just like we can see here. The underside is going to be a little bit lighter, while the top is going to be this dark green, and you're even going to see some red and purple tingings. Now it's called winged sumac because if we look down the meristem here, we're going to see these basically little leaf-like structures, these little wing-like structures here all the way down the meristem where these little leaflets are coming out. The closer we get down to where all these branches are coming out, we're going to notice this pinkish red tinging, and this part is actually very, very soft and smooth. If I can get a close look at it here. There you go. You guys should be able to see it's got like these little fine hairs or this little bloom-like substance all over, and it makes it feel really soft and velvety. So this is a couple of the ways that you can identify winged sumac really easily in the field. If we take a step back, we can see all of these flower clusters all along this tree. Now this is actually a rather short one. This tree can get anywhere from 10 to 30 feet in height. This one looks like it's probably around 12 feet in height at the top. But there is another one that we can see right over there. And that one actually goes up to about 20 and 25 feet in height. Now you're commonly going to be finding your sumac along areas like this on the edge of clearings or on the edge of wood lines where they get a lot of sunlight. You can find them along the edges of fields, along the edges of roadsides, and a lot of other places like that. So those are the type of areas you want to be looking for your sumac. And that'll be the same for your winged sumac, your smooth sumac, and your staghorn sumac. This is a really easy plant to identify. Like I said, a really quick little identification video here because there's really not a lot to talk about when it comes to this plant. Well, at least not right now until the berries are in season and we can harvest the berries. Now, after these flowers get pollinated, the fruits will start coming in at around the beginning to middle of September, and they're usually good to harvest around up until August, in some cases November. But you want to get them before heavy rains wash out all of the flavor and antioxidants out of these berries. But we can see right there, honeybee doing his thing. There's a lot of honeybees and other types of various bee species, and presumably some wasp species as well that are all over this guy. But just so you guys know, whenever you see this and you look at it closely, you can tell that it is not poison sumac because it has those wings. It's also important to look at the area you live in, because where I live, poison sumac is extremely rare in my portion of Indiana. So I hope this video has helped you guys to identify winged sumac, and I thank all of you guys for watching this video. If you want to learn more about wild edibles or medicinal plants, please make sure to subscribe.